again. Funny thing about last video, I forgot to check to see if my mic was on. So hopefully you got to hear everything I said in my last video. If not, my last video was me opening 3 witch box from the UK. They are a mystery box that come once a month. I've been getting them for well over a year now. They have a lot of curios and collectibles and things that you can use for like magical purposes, or if you just really like that aesthetic. Got my cup here because my throat hasn't recovered from the flu I had a couple weeks ago. Who knows when it'll come back. A little bit rustic sounded at the moment. I've got my cauldron cup from the Lost Cauldron in Matlock. Please go and visit. I am not sponsored by WitchCasket or the Lost Cauldron, but I highly support both businesses 100%, and you will find me at the Lost Cauldron pretty frequently for how far away I live from it. It takes me about 2 hours to get there. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be opening 3 witch caskets to see if their boxes are suitable for beginners who are interested in getting their boxes every month. Witch casket is something I've gotten for almost 3 years now. I've got a lot of these witch caskets. I've even got booklets in a box that I've collected and held on to, and I'm starting to run out of space in the box. Like Witch Box, Witch Casket is also family run, and I 100% wholeheartedly support their endeavor. They've done really, really well, and I actually haven't found a box yet that outmatches or outdoes the Witch Casket. I said Witch Box is coming up a lot closer in quality and quantity, but Witch Casket is ultimately like my favorite box. So link below if you would like to go and look into purchasing any of the Witch Caskets. All right. Also, if you become a member, you have access to their shop, and you can actually order past items and things. So things that you see in this video that you might enjoy. So I'm going to go ahead and clear my space. I'm trying to remember which order I put them in. Right, our first box from the Witch Casket is Traditional Witchcraft. Now, again, the purpose of this video is to show you the items from the box and actually put them onto a surface to see if a beginner could successfully use minimalistic witch caskets to start an altar or start a practice, and what those items would be like. A witch casket is very good with their theming, so I don't know how well these themings are going to all blend together, but let's see. So the first thing out of the witch casket is the booklet. And I'm going to set the booklet aside because that's not the point. I'm not here to cast spells or do magic for you. I'm here to just look at the items and put them together. We have a lovely art print, which is gorgeous. They always have really beautiful art. We, like all the baskets and boxes and caskets, they've all got spell kits. So this is a, I'm going to read that, the Hex Breaking Spell Jar Kit. We're not here to do magic. It does come with a glass bottle and everything you need. I'm going to set it aside because that's not the purpose of this video. Right, the next item that we've got, a little mystery item and a little thing here. I've actually forgotten what are in these boxes. I've been sitting on the floor of my room for a little while. Altar besom, so you've got yourself a little broom, representation. You can use it to clean your altar, you can use it to clean the air around you. Besoms are good for sweeping away negative energy. So those are always good to have on an altar. So we will set that down. Now I do have a box that I'm going to be putting aside. So if you see me dropping anything on the ground, I'm not putting it on the ground. I'm very carefully setting it aside. We have Tiger's Eye as our crystal. And that is a power stone to encourage personal empowerment, courage, charisma, willpower, and clear thinking. It's a really nice box. Go. I'm going to set that aside. They always come with gorgeous enamel pens. See an enamel pen. If you can see it well in this light, I apologize, it is a bit shadowy out here. Put it in the right direction. Looks like it's the phases of the moon. The enamel pen. We have an incense holder. Okay. And they're very good at packaging all of their things up in little boxes. Everything's recyclable in both WitchCasket and Witchbox. It's very nice. We have a magical blend of violet, patchouli, and sandalwood for protection and desire. Let me tell you, these things smell so good. Like, I love these incense sticks they give, and they're all natural too. They actually had a bit of a scandal where they found out their distributor wasn't using natural oils or blends, and they put a hold on their incense sticks for quite a few baskets. I think with 2 or 3 of them, until they could find someone that could make incense sticks up to their standards. So you will find that they are on top of it if they find out something's wrong. They are really, really good at fixing things. They have a standard of practice and they adhere to that standard of practice. It's really nice to see. We've got a box of ritual candles. I'm trying to figure out, they might be white. Nope, they're black. Okay, so dispelling negativity, banishing kind of things. So we got black candles in here. Again, I'm probably not going to light anything because I don't want to show you witchcraft. I'm trying to show you items in the boxes. So, black salt. Now, black salt is something that we actually just got in our former video from the other company. So, at first, I had never used black salt, and all of a sudden, black salt is your friend. It is really, really good stuff. I'll set that on the altar. The box aside. We've got ourselves something tied up here. It is Theban alphabets. So a lot of people that write in their journals and books and things will actually use runes and stuff if they have something private they don't want to share. So they'll actually put them on these, using this language rather. I have a version of Elder Futhark that I use. Unfortunately, it's made a couple of people mad because it is a modified version, but it is the version I was taught in my teens, and I just still use it. So if I can read it, I'm going to use it. Ornate potion bottle. These are quite nice. Thank goodness I've got nails. Alright, the potion bottle. Very lovely. It's even got a little ball on top. I find that really cool. I like that. I don't usually get too many bottles that have balls on tops. So that's really cool. I'm loving it. That is probably my favorite item in this particular box, is that ball. Not the bottle, the ball. This is just so random. Okay, spell candle holder. So we got a candle holder. Candle holder is very important. You don't want to ruin things that you're working with or on. I have spelt wax all over things. It's impossible to get out for me. It happens. What can you do? But this one's particularly lovely. This one is in the shape of a pentacle. Very nice. So you could do 5 different colors. Oop, so I can take the lid off of that. Try to keep it warmer. 5 different colors or the same color. Decorate it. It's gorgeous. So the things are very, very quality. Hardwood. In the journals and the booklets that you get with these things, they usually tell you what the wood is made out of. So you actually know what the intent you can use this for if you want to elevate it. If you're into a little bit of the deeper, intricate details, and you want everything to align. They're really good at telling you what they make things out of. Handy. All right, so we're going to set that on our altar here. Set the box down, and we're going to go for our second box. I know I'm going through these quite quickly, but the purpose for this is really to explore if you can use the items in a setup. It's not to go over and fawn over each item, so pardon me if the video isn't quite as long, or if I decide to combine the videos. There is a reason. I just don't want to spend too much time, especially when I'm learning how to do this, and I might run out of space. I want to try to give you what I can with what I can. So here we go. Next box. This one is Green Witch. So we're going to have a bit of herbology in this one. I'm going to set the booklet aside. The booklets are very, very useful. They will tell you what everything does, what they're used for, how to use them. Very, very good at detailing all those little bits. We've got a berry ritual kit. So it contains all you need to help let go of things. So you can bury stuff in flower pots, gardens, fields, places that you feel have energy and might help you get rid of this thing. Very cool book. But we're not going to be doing spells, so we're going to just set that aside with the other spell kit. And I'm going to put some other stuff aside too, like the little pouches and the enamel pins, because we're not going to be using it for our setup. So we're going to set these somewhere safe. We have an art print. Beautiful art print. It's about herbology and keys. We have it's kind of a notepad that you can write things down on for date, time, moon phase, season, notes, magical properties. So if you want to plan a ritual or spell, very handy dandy little book, a little notepad. Set that aside. We have moss agate. Now, moss agate is my favorite crystal. If you want to get me something with moss agate in it, I will never say no. Just love it. Love moss agate. The moss agate actually usually has veins and things running through it, make it look like there are roots growing through the stone. This particular one isn't that clear, but if you hold it up to the light, which I am, I can actually see that it looks like it's got roots and leaves and things, and it's actually a lot clearer than I thought it was now that I'm holding it up to the sun. Favorite stone, hands down. Love moss agate. It is emotional balance and growth. So understanding emotions, which is something that I used to teach in secondary schools, emotional well-being and whatnot. Love the stone. So we've got our scroll, which we're not going to be using right now. And then my husband made a comment about the gardening tool. The gardening tool here is not meant for heavy-duty gardening. It's meant for magical gardening, gentle gardening. This actually seems to be made out of some sort of copper alloy. It's got a nice wooden handle. I'm sure the box pamphlet will tell you what the handle's made out of, what the intention is for that. This is for doing herbal gardening or herbal gardening, depending where you are. And it's not meant to break rocks. So please do not use these things for heavy duty stuff. I'll set that down. Now this basket is interesting because almost everything in here is made. Well, I better cover my drink because this sheds a little bit. You know, like that woolen kind of stuff, that potato sack kind of fabric. It's made out of that. So this is a gather bag. So when you're going out picking up plants and leaves, you can actually put it in the bag. It comes with a little basket, so you can put them in. Not step on anything. I completely forgot that it came in these little sacks. Set that aside. Actually, I'll put the crystals in there so I know I don't drop them on the ground again. Did that last video. Mushroom. Something I think Cherry Wallace would really appreciate is this wooden mushroom. And I think that's made out of acacia wood, but I'm not sure. I had to look it up. But everybody likes a good mushroom. It's beautiful. Put that down. That looks amazing on my table. I did take the pen out of this one already. I believe it was an herbal one. Forgive me. I have a pen board and I want to get a new box. I stick it on my pen board. I just didn't put it back in for this video. Mini altar bottle set. Now, these are cute. If you want to do little things or quickie spells, or even in a travel kit. So if you wanted to put little things in there and take them with you, we've got a green one for abundance, growth, success, a brown one for grounding, stability, practical matters. Sorry if I'm going too fast. And it comes with a clear one for any use. So those are quite nice. I'm going to take them out of here because I've got another item from the last box set that I did. I want to put those in. So when we combine, we'll combine them. Already thinking ahead for the next video. I'm really proud of myself. Right. This is apothecary herbs. So this is what it says on the tin. There are dried plants in this bag. I'm not going to open it because they're all in manila envelopes. And I do feel like, along with the muslin or whatever this material is, opening and closing it might be a bit of a nuisance. So there are dried plants in here. Very useful if you're doing herbal magic or you want to do some spell intentions with those particular correspondences. Gorgeous bag. I'm going to leave it in the bag because I think that looks pretty enough on my table. So that is box number 2. Right, sorry about the drop. Just putting them on the ground out of the way. Third witch casket. Can move all my little items that I've collected so far out of the way, and already this looks absolutely phenomenal. I love this mystery box so much. Like, I can't praise it enough. It is fantastic. I did notice that I don't have a spell scroll for one of the other boxes. It might not have come with one. They don't always come with incense and spell scrolls. The incenses did stop for a little while. Like I said, there was a scandal. They fixed it. And then now when I get the incense, I almost kind of feel like it's a treat. But I also have a mountain of them still. So I don't burn them much because I have birds. And you can't burn those things in the house. So I've got this outside area, which hopefully will be turned into a cabin or a little like witchy retreat where I can burn candles and incense, and I won't be doing any harm to my parrots. So, but unfortunately, you really can only use this outdoor space in the spring, summer, fall. I haven't got a heater for the outside area yet. I wish I had like a wood log burner. That would be cool. There are a lot of spiders. They're starting to come back alive. Rambling over, we have our next witch casket, which is intentions. So intentions to add to our little altar. In our intentions box, we have got an art piece. The seeds are planted. Intentions are set. I command my desire be met. So we got our art. Set that aside. We've got our ritual kit. It is a happiness simmer pot. Simmer pot. The cool thing about WitchCasket, in a former basket, or box rather, we got a simmer pot made out of pewter. So I'm going to set that aside because I might actually use that in the future with the simmer pot that I got. It's not in this collection. If you subscribe, you can probably back order one. They're really cool. They're like on these little wire things with a little tea light under them. Very cool. So we're going to set our ritual packet aside. And we've got now Intentions wax seal stamp. Now this is going to correlate a lot with the other box. Now one thing I find fascinating is because I get both WitchCasket and Witch box, sometimes their boxes in the same month actually will correlate and you can put things together. Like they have got, in the last box, in the last video I opened, they would have parchment paper. Well, in the Witch, that was Witch box. In the WitchCasket this month, wax seals that you can use with that parchment paper. So the two of these mystery boxes actually blend really well together. Sometimes eerily well together. Got a spell scroll. Setting that aside as I am not here to do the magics. I've got a lovely pouch here. It's beautiful. I can see that my shadows are creeping up on me now. Got a picture of a hand with the stars. This whole box smells incredible. No joke. And here we have, now this is neat. And pull these out. They're heavy. They are Enchanting Intentions Ultra tool sets. So we have a carving tool for candles and an intention spoon when you do recipes, potions, and brews. I have amazing spoons from WitchCasket, and we actually ended up ordering like 4 more of them for our kitchen because they have like little pentacles on them. These are really heavy. These are almost kind of like a pewter kind of heavy. This one, obviously, pull all the top off, has a sharp point. Well, not too sharp. I do have another one that I got with a different box that has a sharper point than that one, but the idea is that you carve what you want into the side of a candle before you burn it, like runes or words, and then you can actually scoop herbs and plants with that. I'm going to set those actually in the basket over here with the wax seal that says "So Mote It Be" on it. And put that in our basket. Little trinkets. Set them aside. I could put the besom in there too, in a little basket. We'll set that up later. The next item that we have in here sodalite. Sodalite is balance, self-acceptance, self-esteem. It's getting a lot of self-esteem rocks in the last couple boxes. Sodalite's beautiful blue. Absolutely gorgeous. Pardon the lighting. I think we're starting to go down a little bit because of the sun and the angle. Hopefully it's all right. Sodalite is gorgeous. It reminds me of the ocean. We'll put that in our basket. We have an enamel pin of a hand and a moon. Focus in. I love the enamel pins. I have so many WitchCasket enamel pins. Crazy. We got the wax sealing box. Now this is just those little box. They're kind of like candles, but they're made for wax sealing. So they're usually square. I don't know if I can open that. Yeah, they're more of the traditional wax. So I've got beautiful. I'm going to keep them in the box. There's no need to take those out. Put them with the other candles. We have incense to go with our incense holder from the last couple boxes. Sandalwood and frankincense for intentions. That would be the other incense. WitchCasket. Almost all of these things are WitchCasket exclusives, by the way. They all say exclusive on the packaging. This is a Witch's Willow Charm Kit. Now, this might be like a spell kit in a box, so I'm not going to be taking it out and putting it together. I have one similar that I've got from a previous WitchCasket or Witch box, but it's hanging on my door. It's got ribbons on it, but it's essentially a wreath with bells. So they're like witches' bells for protection. You put them on the door. They're really beautiful. I'm not going to be putting that together right now. Now we've got sigil plate with chalk. Interesting concept. Never seen one of these before in a box. Another one of those unique items, and they do have a lot of unique items. This one, put this box aside. Take it out of the box, and it's a piece of slate. And it also comes with chalk. So just like a blackboard that you would have in school. But you can write symbols on it. Get the chalk out. Ooh, anybody else hate that feeling of chalk on your fingernails? Ooh, if you could see the ground over here. Nothing's on the dirt or anything, but there's a pile of baskets everywhere. So chalk, sigil plates, then you could write on it. And you can potentially put like candles over the top of it and do magical workings. So now is my favorite part. I am going to be taking what we've got here and trying to make it into an altar. I might actually take some of the candles out for this to show you the candle holder because that is really cool. So I'm hoping that my above camera is catching all of this. If not, I'll take a photo and put it on the screen. Do I think that these three baskets, they were, let's see, my memory is awful. Green Witch, Intentions, and Traditional Witchcraft, would they make a good starting box for a new practitioner? Yes and no. A lot of the things are curated so well that they're niche. So I would think Witch Box, in my opinion, would be more for beginners, and WitchCasket could be beginners / intermediate, or have been practicing for a little while and know what these things are. Is it good for beginner? Yeah, I think so. But if I had to compare those two companies, I would say that it's easier to put a new altar together using a Witch Box. A WitchCasket is something that you can put an altar together with, but it more or less would enhance one that you already got. If that makes sense. So you could start from scratch if you needed to do it. But at the same time, I could, as a new practitioner, yeah, I could live off a WitchCasket easily if I didn't have anything else. Because you don't, to do magic, you really only need an intent, and not even really anything to represent it, but it helps, just help to focus the mind. So I have put the candles in the candle holder, turning up the tip. I'm hoping my overhead camera is catching this. I will take a photo. I'm going to kind of like how that's set up already. Let's see, what can I do here? The whole trick is to make it look like a working altar. I've got incense. I'm not going to pull it out because I don't really want to. I don't have to put it back in there, sealed up inside there. So tuck that back in. Got the black salts there. Try to figure out how to set this up so it looks really nice. Right, got a spoon. Spoon can stay in there. Crystals could probably, I don't know if I can put the crystals on the altar, I guess. Why not? I don't have enough to really do one for each corner of the star, but we will do it in there. Go. I like the rustic area. Right. Oops. We're getting there. Kind of like the bottles on the table already. I'm trying to get an idea. I'm decorating a little bit here to try to show you off. If I was going to be using this as an altar, what would I do with all of this? The plants can go in their baskets. And there we have it. Right. Would I be able to use this? Yes, absolutely. Even if I was starting out, I would know how to use this. I would look up the information in the book, I would use what was given to me, and off I would be going. So yeah, I do think this is great. So I'm going to take photos of this. Now on my next video, what I'm going to be doing is taking all 6 of those boxes and putting all the items together and seeing if that works. If it doesn't work, I might not make the video, but I think it would be a fun experiment nonetheless. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe if you're still here. Please share. Please leave positive comments. I'm sorry if my voice is weird or I didn't get quite the great angle or the editing's off. I'm all brand new to this. So thank you for watching. Bye.